So today was the first of my long days of chemo. So there's going to be days where I'm getting multiple chemotherapy in one day, and it's about a 6-hour-ish process. However, today it started off even longer because we had issues last night, complications that created other issues that we ended up bringing up in the office, and that ended up delaying everything by a few hours. So our 6-hour day ended up being all day. Tomorrow should be much smoother, 6 hours. Then we're on the road home. Well, as far as chemo goes, as far as the cancer treatment goes, and I'm going to keep a lot of this while we're here, and I'm going through chemo. Each day is going to be about most of that. When I'm back home, I'll talk about a lot of everything else. You know, the backstory, the future story, keep you updated on what's going on in the present. This is more like these are going to be more informative, more around the actual process of being here and in Seattle and going over kind of what we're going through here. So last night I was kind of hopeful that because I had slept the night before, I got like 6.5 hours straight of uninterrupted sleep, and that's been a while for me to get through that long of a rest period and not have to get up and go pee or have to, because of where my tumor is, I have to go a lot all the time. It sucks. So that made today interesting. I will share with you this tea that we found at Whole Foods. Tastes just like hot tamales. Like, I felt like I was a kid again when I did this. It's like some kind of hot winter or something. I'll show you next time. But man, that's been one of my favorite things on this trip is find this tea. So that didn't happen last night. I was close to getting to sleep, and then moved the hose to my CPAP machine and knocked a cup over. Instant adrenaline spike. So I laid there for a couple, 3 hours, and tried to go to sleep. Never got there. Never got to sleep. Not even close. It was just so I just laid in bed trying to rest as much as I could, but I've been wide awake the entire time. Never got to any deep sleep, nothing. So I've been going since the night before. So I thought, I'll be able to sleep during chemo. Should be fine. I should be okay. But when that happens, I have really bad swelling in my legs and ankles. That's where a lot of the fluid builds up from my hamstring injuries. They're still lingering in that area. B, it's like early onset edema as well. And C, it's, my legs aren't elevated as much as they should be. So the blood flows there and it just kind of all settles there. And it sucks. It just is what it is. And you live with it, and yeah. So we end up bringing that up at the hospital when we get there. And they know that I didn't sleep. I was having a little bit of nausea and cramping last night as well. So they're like, oh, this is cause for concern, because they don't know what my baseline looks like. So it looked overly swollen. And so we ended up meeting with other people, one of them being one of the PAs for my oncologist, and they were worried about it, so they're like, let us check all this out. It wasn't really a thing that really needed to cause a 2-hour delay. But they didn't know that. They were just trying to do their due diligence. Also, my blood pressure was elevated a lot, but that's kind of base for me. My blood pressure is always up there, always in a scary range, and we're working on that hopefully with some of these new medications. I got 5 new medications today. 5. And now I'm getting one of the ones sent to me that is crazy. I'll get to that closer to the end of the video, because that's kind of where things resolved for the day. So we're going through that, and then finally get hooked up, and I can tell I'm not feeling right. I'm not feeling myself. I'm not feeling myself mentally and emotionally. I'm not feeling very strong today, because I was very feeling tired, feeling weak, feeling beat. I'm like, let's get this done. Let's get through this. It'll be all right. And then there was the delay, and I'm like, man, we're not getting anywhere. And it was a slow burn today. And it took a lot out of everybody. The family's there, and you can tell it's draining everybody down. And then to have it be the longest day and have to go and sit and do nothing. I mean, we in not the most comfortable place. You know, it's hard being in a hospital. It's not like it's warm and inviting. It's a hospital. You're there to get treatment. You're there to get better. But it's not there for comfort. It's not your living room. It's not where you're going to hang out. They make it the best they can, and I'm so grateful for that. But it's hard on people to have to be there all day. So you try to stay positive, and you try to stay ramped up, and then you keep it on. You try to keep on keeping on, and just be as good as you can. Some days are easier than others. Today was not one of those days that it was easy. But we worked through it, and but it took time. And I was thinking I would crash, and as soon as I started to get there a little bit, man, I had to pee. And then literally every 5 to 10 minutes after that, because they have to hydrate you to protect your kidneys. So I'm getting pumped with 2 hours of hydration. 2 hours. And I'm still drinking tea, I'm drinking water, I'm drinking because I'm thirsty all the time. And so I'm in that bathroom every 3 to 15 minutes in that time period. Just having to go. I gotta get up, I gotta unplug the machine, walk it next door into the bathroom with me. And I tell you what, it was a lot. As soon as you start getting comfortable. So I knew I wasn't sleeping. That wasn't gonna happen. once I came to that realization, I'm like, all right, let's try to make this as enjoyable as possible and figure out stuff to do. And that didn't really happen. We just ended up talking about the wreck and all this other stuff and what we're going to do about a vehicle, how we're going to navigate those waters, how we're going to navigate just our lives over the next few months as things drastically just change. Because that's what all of this has been. This entire journey has been change after change after change, and adapting daily, especially with, because you never know what's going to happen. You know, one day you're driving along, next day you're hitting ice, sliding into a fence, and having all your shit stolen after you leave your car. You don't know. One day you're trying to cook a turkey and you get stressed out. Blood pressure through the roof. Next day you have cancer that's killing you. Obviously it's been there a lot longer than that, but that's how fast everything changes. Today with the therapy, it went in just fine. Now that they know to use a longer needle, but I had left the port in, so it was, or the access line in, so that we didn't have to go through that again. But she said it's in my chart now, and I won't ever have any issues with that again. So that's really cool. And so all of that just went really well. There was no issues with the actual chemotherapy. Once we got everything in, we were golden. Like, let's go. And that went super well. Like, we're good. All done. And it just took time. A lot of time. And you're hooked up to it. And again, you're super hydrated. So I'm really glad that they have bathrooms really close there. Because you're gonna go. And for somebody who has a kidney tumor right on their kidneys, man, I go a lot already. So I was running in there, and that was kind of the day of chemo, was just trying to find a positive spot that just never came. And everything was kind of melancholy today. Is kind of the best thing I can tell you, is melancholy at best. There's going to be days like that. There's going to be days that aren't super easy. There's going to be days where it's really hard to stay positive. But you get through them. You live through them. So that tomorrow can be a great day. The day after that can be an amazing day. But you make it through each day, because each one is a gift to you when you realize what you're going through. The more you can remember that, the easier it gets. So, yeah, I'm hoping I'll be able to crash tonight. We got new, different sleeping pills. So that's going to be fun. And every single one of my pills is labeled as a nausea medication, even though they are for stuff above and beyond nausea. Every single one of them says, take this for nausea, take this for nausea, nausea, nausea. Not every single one. One of them's for high blood pressure. There's that. So yeah, we make it through all that. And all day we've had people popping in trying to help us get the different medications that we need. And one of them is for my Cushing's. It's going to help lower my cortisol, help regulate the hormones, so that I don't feel like I am constantly in a state of hormonal imbalance and like I'm always on my cycle. That's kind of the best way to put it, is I have a 24-hour cycle, and I'd like to not be stuck on that. So it's going to help with that by lowering the cortisol, all of that. However, this pill, there's two different versions. There's one that has some chemo in it, right? So they give it to you in junction with your chemo, but I'm on a very aggressive 4-day chemo, not normal. So yes, I'm 1 in a million, right? So they changed it. They didn't think that the benefit outweighed the consequences of taking that one. Well, there is a new pill on the market that doesn't have the chemo, does the same thing, lowers the cortisol, helps regulate the moods, all of that. It's 18 grand, man. 18 grand for this pill. They had to find somebody who actually had stock. It was approved. I'm approved to have this medication. The problem and the reason why I don't have it yet is because they couldn't find it. It's got to come from a specialty pharmacy. And so I had a team in Spokane with my endocrinologist there looking for it, and the team here looking for it. Tell you what, Spokane came through. They found somebody who's going to send it to me. At the end of the night, that was the last thing that I had to deal with for cancer today, was getting that medication set up and sent to me. So I know this video is more of a somber tone, and it's just kind of a lot more matter of fact than anything. But that's kind of how the day was. Kind of a matter of fact, it just happened. And there was a lot to it, and it was a very long day. It's the longest day that we've had in treatment. Tomorrow we got to go get my heart, an echo done on that before we even go to chemo. So it's going to start off early and then go, and then we're coming straight home right after chemo. Just off we go. So tomorrow's going to be another long one. So that video will be probably later in the evening. But thanks for letting me rant. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being here. This is definitely a different step for the bear, but I'm still getting there. Still becoming that. Still earning that name. Some days it's just not as strong as it could be. But here we are. All right, I'll talk to you